Hello, it's Alex, the Bookubus. Today I'm very happy to announce the upcoming Ladies of Horror Fiction Readathon. This is going to be taking place from the 1st to the 15th of September. September is the anniversary of the Ladies of Horror Fiction, so what better way to mark the occasion than to do a bit of a readathon. And you may know that I have co-hosted a couple of readathons with them in the past, and previously we've usually come up with a few prompts or challenges, but this time we just decided to keep it low-key, keep it casual. We don't have any prompts, so really the key is just to read horror written by women. That's it, that's the readathon. So if you are looking for reading inspiration, go check out the Ladies of Horror Fiction. They are an endless source of recommendations, and I will leave a link to their website below. They're also on Instagram and Twitter, so I'll leave those links too, so definitely go check them out if you're not already following them. And as for recommendations from myself, I will leave some links to the previous Ladies of Horror Fiction readathons that I have taken part in, and also you can check out my Nightmare Queens videos, which is a book review series focusing on vintage horror written by women, so from the 1970s, 80s and 90s. So if you're looking for something from that era, then I have plenty of recommendations for you. Anyway, I thought I would also use this video to share my TBR with you, so you might get some ideas from here. And I have selected 7 books in total, which admittedly there's no way I'm going to get through all of those in just 2 weeks, but they are all books that I would like to get to soon, so if I don't get to them during the readathon period, then I will still be reading them very soon after that. But I figured I would share them all now. So first up I have Boy Parts by Eliza Clark. This came out just last year, I believe, and it is set in London, and we're following a female character who is a photographer, and she likes to photograph guys and their parts. And yeah, I don't know too much about this one. I haven't really looked into it because I didn't want to accidentally get any spoilers, but I have heard that it is both darkly humorous and pretty messed up. So count me in for that. I'm really looking forward to reading this one. Next up is Voice of the Blood by Jemiah Jefferson. This is a vampire novel that originally came out, I think, in 2001, so already 20 years ago. Wild. And this is about a character who, I believe, finds herself drawn into a world of vampirism, and I think this one is supposed to be pretty saucy as well. So yeah, not my kind of normal go-to subgenre within horror, but it's vampires, and yeah, it sounds pretty unique, so I am really looking forward to it. Next up is The Vegetarian by Han Kang, and I think this is maybe more horror adjacent rather than strictly horror. This is about a character who decides to go vegetarian and stop eating meat, and this is supposed to be pretty dark and disturbing. So yeah, definitely sounds like my cup of tea, and I'm very curious about it. And this copy was actually sent to me some time ago by my friend Laura over at Let's Get Fictional, so thank you again, Laura, for sending this my way. I'm really looking forward to finally picking it up. Next up is a short story collection. This is a very shiny and hard to get in frame without a ton of glare. The Mirror of Night by Roberta Lanas. This came out in the late 90s, and it seems to be a somewhat lesser known collection of stories, but one that I had stumbled upon at some point during, I don't know, some random internet search ages ago, and I picked up a copy I think earlier this year. And yeah, haven't gotten to it yet, but this seemed like a great opportunity to grab it off my shelf and give it a read. I think this is supposed to be quite dark as well. I think there is at least some, if not all, of these are somewhat extreme horror. So yeah, very much looking forward to it. Next up is Dear Laura by Gemma Amor. This is a novella about a character whose friend has gone missing, and this character is now in touch with someone who seems to know the whereabouts of this missing friend, but in order to get any information out of them, she has to do certain things, and these requests get more and more serious as she tries to find out more and more information. I have heard some really great things about this one. I've had a copy of this sitting on my Kindle for a little while now, and yeah, I should have picked it up already, but since I haven't, now is the time. And of course, what TBR would be complete without a bit of 90s YA horror, and I've picked 2 books for that type of thing for this readathon. One of them is Class Trip by B.B. Fassrice. I've never read any of her work before, but she seems to have been quite a prolific author, and this one sounds like a lot of fun. It is, as you can probably guess from the title, about a class trip, and there's a serial killer among them. So yeah, sounds brilliant. And I had to pick a point horror book as well. This is The Watcher by LOHF. This is about a teenage girl who is obsessed with this particular soap opera, and as time goes on, her life actually seems to mirror what is happening on the show. And yeah, things of course take a dark turn in some way or another. You can't go wrong with a bit of point horror. I feel like even the not so good ones are just still really enjoyable in their own way, and I love the nostalgia. So needless to say, I'm excited to pick this one up. So that is my TBR. I am hoping to get to some of these during the readathon, and then the rest of them I will get to hopefully shortly thereafter. Looking forward to reading all of them, as I've mentioned like 15 times already. If you are interested in joining in with the readathon, then yeah, go check out the Ladies of Horror Fiction for more information. And yeah, if you are a fellow booktuber and you are sharing any videos related to it, then please let me know, because I would love to check them out. So yeah, that's about it. Just a kind of short and sweet video. Thank you ever so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully I will see you again in my next video. Bye!